Excellent. Hi, good afternoon, good evening to all. Luis, thank you so much. Can you guys see my presentation?
Yes, we can see it.
All right. Okay. Let me just go back a couple of slides. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for inviting the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago to participate in this very important session on modernization efforts. I have to say I run the risk of sounding a bit repetitive because I must say our colleague Joseph from the Parliament of Sierra Leone covered a significant amount of the experiences that we share in Trinidad and Tobago, but I would still share some of the other unique modernization efforts we are making, and I would try to focus more so on how that is impacting our ability to really assist members to effectively execute their responsibilities and also engage the public as well. So just some background about the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. We are considered a small branch with just about 72 members of Parliament in total. 41 members are elected, and they constitute the House of Representatives, and of course, plus the Speaker, so that would be 42. And 31 appointed members that constitute the Senate. So we're a relatively small Parliament, and that in itself presents some unique challenges in terms of resources. And we are not a fully autonomous institution in that we still have to rely on central government to determine our budget. So when in respect to resource allocation towards our digitalization effort and modernization initiatives, that's somewhat restricted. So I am hoping that following these sessions that we can engage some of our colleagues to get some insight as to how they approached and achieved what they did, because we are definitely not there yet. We are on track, but we still have a significant amount of work to do. Yeah. So as I said, I would focus on how we have been able to support the work of members of Parliament, improve our internal processes, and connect more effectively with members of the public. Similar to Joseph, the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago has been able to achieve some success in our paperless Parliament effort. That was part of our strategic plan for the period 2013-2018. So we can acknowledge that that is something we did achieve with the implementation of an e-repository. It's called Rotunda. So members are able to access documents remotely from wherever they would be utilizing their devices. And we also outfitted members with iPads. I think I loved how Joseph would have structured how their digitalization efforts were able to impact each function of their parliament. That is oversight, legislative and representative functions, those functions. For us, having easy access to documentations has really assisted us in effectively operating our committees, because our oversight committees in particular would generate a significant amount of documentation because of the amount of stakeholders we engage from civil society, from the government sector. And that has really helped members to be able to manage the significant amount of documentation that they would have to encounter every time. In terms of the legislature, we have upgraded our chamber. So we do have hybrid sittings where members can also engage remotely. But we are still to implement stuff like electronic voting and some of the other nice technological innovations that other parliaments may have. Yeah. This is just a screenshot of how our Rotunda e-repository looks. So you can see on the left of the screen the different document libraries where members could access content, and generally it's a basic SharePoint. In terms of internal processes and improving operational efficiency, one of the departments that have really made some headway and has advanced significantly is our Hansard department. Through the incorporation of new technology, we have been able to significantly increase the rate of the production of Hansard transcripts to just around 1 hour. 1 day for 24 hours after sitting. And that is a tremendous achievement in the context of certain resource constraints. We are continuing to incorporate new technology and train CAF reporters in that technology. With respect to connecting more effectively with the public, we would have redesigned our website in the late half of 2022, and to make it more user-friendly, as well as to allow for greater access by the public to all papers that are laid in Parliament. And I think that is important in terms of transparency and open access to data, which is important for our parliaments here in the Latin America and Caribbean region. We are also, and this is just really adopting a very practical, practical approach to using technology. Some of these may seem pretty basic, but it has had an impact on how the public view the Parliament as a more open institution. We also would utilize a number of surveys. Our colleague from Sierra Leone spoke about the use of surveys, but more so to measure. Joseph was referring to these surveys to measure the impact of the digitalization and to gauge how far they have advanced. We are using surveys more so to engage the public and provide feedback on oversight committee work and inquiries. So that allows them to more or less have direct feedback to the Parliament. We host a number of virtual tours. There are virtual tours available on our website. And a really interesting addition in terms of modernization, not just from the digital perspective, but in terms of greater access to the public, is we have created a unique space for artists to present their artistic expressions, and that is in the form of the Rotunda Gallery. There's that, so artists from various walks of life are able to come and present their artwork in that space, and that space is also communicated to the public virtually, or members of the public can come into the Parliament and benefit from those art displays. And those art exhibitions are generally done along the lines of the different United Nations days and themes, as well as the Sustainable Development Goals. So we have had several displays on women empowerment, gender sensitivity, and several of the other important issues. Some of the challenges we have encountered in terms of rolling out some of the areas I just mentioned, some of the digital solutions that I just mentioned include But I think this is now less so, given that COVID and the COVID pandemic has sort of transitioned a significant amount of the population into the digital era or the cyberspace. But prior to attempting the e-repository, members would resist our attempts to dissuade them from printing documents or requesting printed documents. But I think more so now, because of virtual meetings and hybrid meetings, members have more or less come on board. They have come on board in terms of embracing technology and embracing access to digitalized files and digital content. Yeah, and for those members who have challenges, our IT department, which is just about 12 members of staff, they are available to assist members in understanding how to operate any of the equipment that we would provide to them. In terms of virtual meetings, interestingly, given the I guess the impact of the COVID-19 has subsided a bit, we are slowly reverting back to in-person committee meetings. So we have a number of committees that have resumed meeting in person, but all our committee rooms are outfitted to have hybrid meetings or in-person meetings now. All of them are fitted with cameras and the different screens and equipment that are required. But perhaps the benefit of group dynamics that occurs from the assembly of members, some committees prefer that environment. So we are returning to in-person meetings, but the lessons learned, well, we hope haven't been lost. Yeah. So that really brings me to an end of my brief presentation on just some of the modernization efforts of the Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago. I am not IT professional here. I am a procedural clerk assigned to committees. I'm the team lead for the departmental committees, and I am also assigned to the Senate. So perhaps we could save some of the techie questions